need to ensure the order of the physical land around us. Surveyors play an integral part in land development, from the planning to the design of the land. Today, we have an expert on the interview segment who will explain to us why the value of each land varies. Hello and welcome to our interview segment. I have an estate surveyor and valuer, Alexander Igbori, in the house. He's going to be explaining to us why the value of a land differs from another. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, I'm fine.
It's good to have you today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, now tell me, what does property appraisal entail?
Well, property appraisal is actually more like a market value.
Okay.
And market value is the price which an asset is to be traded in a competitive market at a particular point in time of the transaction. So it's actually the value at that point in time for an exchange.
Okay, so tell us, why is it that the value of a particular land differs from that of another land? For instance, why is the land in Igbori or Victoria Island or Lekki more expensive than that of the one in Ikorodu?
Well, that's a nice question. Well, actually, it differs because, first and foremost, you have to look at Igbori is a highbrow environment, the highbrow area, and also you have to consider, you know, the economic value of land tends to appreciate more than Ikorodu. Because of why? The reason why I said that is because of the high rate of migration. And the
high rate of migration of people to Igbori.
People are actually migrating because
it's more expensive. So you're having more people migrate to the island.
Yeah, because because of socio-cultural benefits.
Okay.
You know, people want to associate with a specific kind of class.
Wow.
And also you have to consider security likewise.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so these are the factors that makes, you know, a property in a certain area more important than that, more expensive than that.
Very, very expensive, because at the same time it appreciates faster. It appreciates faster over time, more than when you invest in Ikorodu. And to be precise, is more. I think everything is centered on location. Location tends to justify the price. It tends to justify price.
Tell me about the factors that determine the value of a land.
One of the factors is, like I mentioned previously, location is one. Secondly, infrastructure development. Secondly, scarcity. When there's scarcity in terms of demand and supply, because when land is scarce, it tends to appreciate. It makes land value tends to appreciate when it's scarce, and when you have a whole lot of people tend to pay more focus on a particular location, it tends to appreciate. The land tends to appreciate over time over there. So talking about location, talking about infrastructure, and also inflation. Inflation tends to also influence the value.
So Alexander, tell me, what are the implications of not estimating the value of your land before buying?
Well, the implications of not estimating your value, we should look at it from first. That will lead to undervalue of the property, and undervalue the property will bring to a huge loss as to the investor. Because why I said that is normally a proper, that's the essence why an valuation appraisal is meant to be carried out, because by carrying out valuation appraisal, it gives you the value of the asset of the property, and that tends to give the investor an idea of what the property is at that point in time. Then at the same time, like as I said, also precise. I think that's all, because I don't think there are a lot of implications towards that. It only tends to bring to a whole loss to the investor. So implications, once the estimates are not properly done, it tends to bring to a huge loss in value, and that tends to influence the choice of the investor.
This is a question a lot of people ask. Why should I waste money in property valuation, and why should investors seek the services of a real estate valuer?
It's very important to seek the consent of estate valuers, because they are professionally inclined in terms of advising investors on what to invest in, and also they tend to tell you what your property value will be in the long run, and also they give you all the guides that tends to guide you as an investor in real estate.
Wow, fantastic. Now tell me, is there anything like quackery in this line of business, and how can it be curbed?
Okay, yeah, we have a lot of quackery, and we've actually talked about that from the professional perspective. Yes, we've actually come up with more of like sensitization to enlighten, to come up with a lot of sensitization programs, and also enlightenment to investors. At the same time, we also looked at introducing something we call the real estate agency that tends to control the practice. We try to bring them closer instead of condemning them. So it's a way of trying to improve the practice. So that tends to curb quackery.
Oh wow, fantastic. Now tell me, every profession has its challenges. What are the challenges in this line of profession?
Well, like we've just said, first, because of the nonchalant attitude of a lot of investors in this country, because for a long run, from my own point of view, my own experience, we observe that we have a whole lot of investors, but they don't have an idea, all about real estate. Just recently, we in Nigeria, we've started embracing real estate in this country, because most times when you meet investors and you want to talk them in, they tend to prove to have an idea, but professionally they don't. So that's why I said nonchalant attitude. So I think we're looking forward to more of sensitization, more of enlightenment, and that will help them.
On a final note, what do you have to say to people out there?
Well, on the final note, I would like to advise that an estate surveyor and valuer precise are very, very, very important when it comes to investment, when it comes to real estate, when it comes to professional advice. Because without the real estate surveyors, like we just mentioned, investors tend to run out of loss in their investment. And estate surveyors tends to play a huge role currently in the global society today, because everything in investment surrounds in real estate. So currently you can see how real estate is springing in today's Nigerian economy. So estate surveyors are very, very much relevant. And my advice is that landlords, investors and landlords around the country should emulate the idea of patronizing professionals that are estate surveyors and valuers, because they tend to guide them, and that will tend to curb quackery, at the same time reduce the level of nonchalant attitude of landlords, precise investors.
Thank you so much for having us, and thank you so much for explaining in detail what land evaluation is all about. I'm sure our audience at home had an amazing time too.
Of course they should. Thank you very much.